Assalamu alaikum. I am a Babu Khan. Thousands of years ago, there was a land not only written in history, but also in prophecy. What if the story of Iran was written long before our time? For thousands of years, the land we now call Iran has stood at the center of history. Empires rising, kingdoms falling, and nations clashing. But what if this land was never just another nation? What if its story carries a deeper meaning? According to the Bible, Iran is not mentioned by its modern name, but it appears again and again under ancient names like Persia and Elam. And these are not just names, they are connected to prophecy, power, judgment, and redemption. The story begins in the earliest chapters of the Bible, after the Great Flood, when the descendants of Noah spread across the earth. Among them was Elam, a son of Shem. His people settled in the land that is now known as Iran. This means Iran's roots go back to one of the earliest chapters of human history. As time passed, this region grew stronger. By the time of Abraham, Elam had already become powerful enough to go to war, to influence nations, and to shape history. But one message remained clear: no kingdom, no matter how powerful, stands above God. Then came the rise of Persia, one of the greatest empires the world had ever seen. Power, control, and dominance were all in its hands. The world seemed to bow before it. But then something unexpected happened. Persia became more than a force of destruction. It became part of restoration. Under King Cyrus, the Jewish people were set free. They returned to Jerusalem and rebuilt their temple. This was not just a political decision, it was part of a greater purpose.
This reveals something important. Iran's story in the Bible is not only about conflict, it is also about being part of a divine plan. But the story doesn't end there. In the prophetic books of the Bible, especially in Ezekiel, Persia appears again, this time in a mysterious and intense role, a prophecy pointing toward the future. It speaks of a time when multiple nations will rise together, forming alliances, preparing for conflict. And among those nations, Persia is named. Armies gather, tension rises, and the world stands on the edge of chaos. But here is the turning point. The outcome is not decided by military power, not by armies, not by human strength. It is decided by divine intervention. Something greater steps in, and everything changes. Because of this, many believe that Iran will play a significant role in future global events, not just politically, but prophetically. Another powerful prophecy comes from the book of Jeremiah. It speaks directly about Elam, declaring that its strength will be broken. Its bow, a symbol of power, will be shattered. This represents a moment of judgment. But the story doesn't end with destruction, because after judgment comes a promise, a restoration. The Bible says that in the latter days, Elam will be restored again. This creates a powerful contrast: destruction followed by hope, downfall followed by renewal. And this is where the deeper meaning begins to unfold. Because Iran's destiny is not just about war or downfall, it is about transformation.
If this story opened your eyes, then you're not ready for what comes next. Hit subscribe now, because the truth they don't tell is just getting started.